Hey, before we get into the episode, I just want to invite you to subscribe to our newsletter. Not only are we going to be talking about when new episodes come out, but we're also going to be talking about everything that's happening under the Stress Health Co. umbrella. So when we're talking about our free online community, when we talk about our products, our journals, our masterclasses, our ebooks, we're talking about that. When we're talking about new and exciting things that are coming down the pipeline, you guys are going to get the first early access before anybody else. So you don't want to miss out on that. So click the link below and subscribe to our newsletter, and I'll see you soon. Let's get into the episode. What's going on, y'all? And welcome back to Address Your Stress podcast, where we help you face some of life's biggest stressors. And on today's encouragement episode, we talking about television, y'all. I don't know if you guys are into Netflix like me and my wife are, but we've been watching Love is Blind. If you're listening to this episode, that means it's been a week since the reunion came out. That means all the episodes from season 6 has aired. So if you don't want to be spoiled or you don't want to do anything, that's fine. You can go ahead and click off this episode. But if you've taken the time to watch it, please dive into this episode, because boy, oh boy, was this a season to remember. And the reason why I'm talking about it in particular on this episode is because one couple in particular kind of really stuck out to me. And that was Clay and AD. One, because black couple. I love to see, as a black man, I love to see black couples win. I want them to thrive. I want, happy, healthy black families. And spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the show, they didn't make it. They didn't get married. But what was interesting was the vitriol, the hate, the everything that the internet threw in Clay's direction. Saying, oh girl, you should have seen the red flag. He was red flags from day one. He told you he wasn't ready to get married, and then at the altar, look, he showed you that he wasn't ready to get married. Yada 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 yada. And then fast forward to the reunion, which was the next week's episode, but in real time, it was a whole year from that point. And when I tell you that this is a changed man who has grown in the year since the filming of the show to the filming of the reunion, you could tell the changed man. And what I saw in the reunion was that, of course, there's still a connection between the two of them, but there's a clear hesitancy in AD. It's clear that Clay has done the work. He said he's gone to therapy. He said he tried out a couple therapists just to get it right. And seeing him talk and articulate, his growth and what he wants now, and now that he knows, all the answers that he had about himself have been solved, right? Or he's at least in progress of working on it, but he's ready to get back and actually be in an intentional relationship with her. But you see all that, and you still see the resistance, the hesitancy, and you're like, ooh, you looking and he's sounding good, but I don't know. I don't know. You really, really, really hurt me, and you did it on TV and all of that, right? And so the reason why I want to talk about this is because there are so many couples who are going on that kind of dance. You had a partner, you had a situation who it didn't end well. Something happened and y'all split. And now some time has passed, and now they're coming back around, but you're wondering, should I take them back? And I want to kind of dive into, my take on answering that question when my clients come and they ask me similar questions or similar situations. And so let's quickly go through some guidelines that I like to say, because what's interesting is that, people say, I'm a changed woman, I'm a changed man, I've changed for the better. One of the things that I always say in response to that is, what have you done to make the change? And the reason I say that is because change just doesn't happen by osmosis. Change just doesn't happen. Change happens for your mentality, your personality, your emotional fortitude. That changes through intentional work. Let's say you've read a book. Let's say you've went to therapy. Let's say you started listening to podcasts. Let's say you got a mentor. You went to conferences. You started educating yourself on how to, grow in the areas that you're deficient in. Like, it takes intentional actions to go out and seek information so that you can change. It doesn't just fall in your lap, unfortunately. So that's the number one thing you want to look at when somebody is trying to come back into your life. You want to identify and ask the questions: how have you gone about change? What have you been doing in our time apart to become a better person? That's the number one thing you want to look for before you even entertain the conversation. Okay. Now, second thing, are they adding joy to your life? Are they adding peace? Are they adding happiness? Or are they adding headache? I know somebody who, in the past, they were entertaining a situation from a past relationship, and things were good, things were great, things were grand, and they were having so much good time together. Like, they were spending time, they were going on dates, they even traveled a couple times. They were trying to figure things out, but for the time being, they were just enjoying each other's company. There was no drama, there was no strife, there was no fights, and that's what you want to pay attention to in this phase of your questioning: is the time that we're spending together, is it full of drama? Is it full of issues? Is it full of arguments? Are we butting heads, or are we figuring it out? If we do disagree, does it turn into a full-blown argument where we're slamming doors in each other, or we're getting up and walking away? Is it gaslighting? Is it controlling? What is the difference here? Is it joyful? Is it peaceful? Is it safe? This conversation, this change, is it different? Am I enjoying your company? You get what I'm saying? And so these two things are a great starting point for you to these two things are a great starting point for you to even entertain the conversation of, okay, do I take this person back? Has this person done anything about the issues? Have they put the work to do the changes? Have they put in the groundwork? Have they had the conversations that they need to have? That's number one, because because if that hasn't happened, then it's a non-starter. The issues that we had before are still there. So if they didn't do no work on that, then this conversation really is a non-starter, and you're going to waste your time, because you can enjoy their time, but if the issue isn't finished, the issue hasn't been dealt with, then you know what I'm saying, it's a waste of time. So those two things are a great starting point. And once those two things have been answered, the third thing that you want to look out for is trust. Because here's the thing: you are the one who has to be able to put things in the past. You are the one who has to be willing to move forward. And you can't do that. You can't forgive them. You can't move past the past unless you trust them going forward. And the thing about it is, trust is built brick by brick by brick by brick by brick. Even though it takes literal seconds to destroy, to fall down, to break down the wall, it will take time for you internally to allow them to build up that trust, right? Now, you have to decide if you're going to give them the opportunity to build up that trust, to prove to you that they've changed, to prove to you that their actions are lining up with their words, to prove to you that this time is different, that you got a better partner this time. But don't jump in at once. Have a timeline. Have an internal timeline for yourself. If you're saying, I'm willing to give you 6 months, I'm willing to give you 3 months, I'm willing to give you a whole year. Now, a year is a little excessive, but have an internal timeline for yourself for them to gain your trust. And even then, it doesn't necessarily mean it's over. That just means, okay, I'm willing to give this another shot. We'll see how you act once we're back together. You get what I'm saying? that is my 2 cents on this topic of when to take them back. If you enjoyed episodes like this, let me know. I'll make more podcasts specifically, maybe in reaction to things on TV, things on social media. Just let me know. All right, see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this week's episode, share it with somebody who you think could benefit from it as well. And if you want to support the show, please subscribe wherever you are watching or listening to this and leave us a 5-star review. I'll see you soon.